Your career is your career. Your career is not your employer's career. You give an interview when you're laid off without emergency fund and give an interview with emergency funds. I'll tell you the difference. You will feel it yourself.
What is your portfolio size today?
Will be something tuned to 2 CR.
So what was your salary in 2006?
It was 8,000 or 9,000 that I started with monthly.
How much did your salary increase in terms of percentages? How much do you earn today?
ये तो जिद्दी लड़का है. Yeah, I might be earning now maybe 30-40 times. I'll delete कर देना. So my name is Kapil Anand. I am born and brought up in Delhi, 36 years old. I carry around 17 years of professional experience with me. I also carry around 100 case studies with me for salaried professional where I've helped people.
So if I look, what is your portfolio size today, if you can share?
So my portfolio, maybe it will be somewhere in range of 1.5 to 1.6 CR if I include my emergency funds, PF, NPS and all. It will be something tuned to 2 CR.
And you mentioned 17-year experience and you are 36. So you started working at 19?
In my personal background, my mother and my father got separated when I was 13. So I in fact started working when I was maybe 15 or 16, but that was not organized job because you can't take up a
And
job.
that was out of necessity because money was
absolutely.
short.
My mother was taking home tuitions at that time. My elder sister was also working. I also started working pretty soon to support education and all.
What were you doing at that time?
I am not sure if that job today exists or not, but you will see people standing outside ATMs or maybe corporate offices and they will offer you credit cards. So we were not paid any salary. So how many applications you got approved, you will be paid based on that only. I actually started working 19 or 18 in a formal sector. It was called Hutch. Now it's Vodafone. So I started as a customer service representative there.
And when you joined this Hutch or Vodafone, then you must have started getting a fixed salary, right?
Yeah.
What
I
was
think
that?
it was 8,000 or 9,000 that I started with monthly.
Got it. And what was this year?
Maybe 2006.
2006. And how much do you earn today?
Yeah, so my income is not particularly only from salary. I also do some sort of freelancing work. My initial income was maybe 1 lakh a year. I might be earning now maybe 30-40 times.
Did this growth happen very gradually, like, or there were some inflection points ki ek jump mein double ho gaya salary?
So my portfolio grew by like I think 17-18% and my salary was growing by 22% annual CAGR. And the major change happened when I joined the consulting industry. Earlier I was in operations. I changed the industry completely and that happened around I think 2017.
So what was your salary in 2006 when you joined? 2006, 7? 6?
7, I can tell you, I was earning around maybe 1.8 lakh when I was working with HCL. It was an international setup yearly. 2009, I joined a multinational company which was primarily into debt collection. The salary was almost similar lines, 16-17,000, but they were offering a lot of incentives, variable pay if you are able to perform better. 2009 till 2014, I did not take any promotion. Money at an associate level because of those incentives were really, really good.
More than your manager.
Yeah, at times more than your manager, because in sales company and companies which are paying only for performance, it happens a lot. Then I got promoted there as a team leader where my basic grew but incentive reduced.
How much did basic grew in terms of percentages?
From 2.5 it was 5.6. Apart from the normal hikes that I got in 5 years, I was at 6 to 7 lakhs. Then senior team leader came around 9 lakhs type. Then I went into the consulting zone where I started earning 10 plus, and then salary took exponential growth and maybe it was 2x 3x in no moment time.
The way you increase your salary matters a lot in your corpus. Like, how can somebody grow salary aggressively?
See, you will never be able to create a good corpus or wealth if your active income is not increasing. I see a lot of salaried people with a philosophy of penny wise and pound foolish. Let's say their job is in Gurgaon, they will see that rent is here is 35,000 rupees. Let me take a home in Delhi far away. There I'm paying rent only maybe 20,000 rupees, 15,000 ka saving. But you're traveling every day 2 hours and then you're going back 1.5 hours. I used to spend the same 2-3 hours in office extra every day, from which I was able to earn more incentives. Our working hours were same, but my working hours were giving me more money, which I could invest or maybe spend. Second, I see as soon as their salary increases, what is the first thing they do? They will buy a home. That's their first goal ke apna ghar to होना ही चाहिए. What that comes with heavy EMI. 2017 or 18, I wrote a very interesting Facebook post that home loans make you a humble employee. Imagine myself in a scenario where I was making that risky career switch of moving from operation. Imagine I was paying 90% of my salary as EMI or 80% of my salary in expenses and EMI. Third is Warren Buffett says they never invest in themselves. A lot of salaried people will depend on their employer. You kind of hired me. I am now your adopted child. You train me. You entertain me. That's not the case. Your career is your career. Your career is not your employer's career. So if you see my career trajectory, I was learning something new every 2 years. I did a data analysis course. I did Six Sigma Lean Green Belt, then Black Belt, then IIM course. I got certified from SEBI. These are all active choices from me. Apart from skill, you should work for the industry who can pay you more. Same काम करोगे, कहीं पे आपको अच्छा पैसा मिलेगा, कहीं पे नहीं. So at that time I identified, maybe not in a scientific way, but I identified that international setups can give you better money. I started working for HCL. It was a US setup. My communication skills were not good, so I went to interviewer जो कि इंटरव्यू लेते थे उनका, and every time I'll fail. I gave interview almost 11th time. तो मुझे बोला, एक बार बैठाया, सब कुछ सब चलेगा, बोला कि भाई तो क्या चाहता है, बार बार क्यों आ रहा है इंटरव्यू देने के लिए, रिजेक्ट हो जाता है, बिकॉज आई वांट टू जॉइन दिस ऑर्गेनाइजेशन, कभी ना कभी तो क्लियर होगा. फिर व्हेन आई वेंट 12th टाइम, आई थिंक आउट ऑफ कंपैशन,
Or probably you must have improved, right?
नो नो, आई एम डैम श्योर इट वाज आउट ऑफ कंपैशन ओनली, कि ये तो जिद्दी लड़का है.
When did you start investing?
So maybe I started, I should say, gambling in 2007, but truly started investing in around 2012. A very interesting incident happened. One fine day, India Bulls RM called me and said that you have been shortlisted as a very good investor because your stock portfolio returns are amazing. My portfolio was not even 10,000 rupees at that time, and I got into, यार मैं तो बहुत बड़ा investor
Did you
बन गया.
believe you believed
Yeah,
in
yeah, I
it?
believed, completely believed. And they are saying that your returns are good, but you are not able to scale up. So we are conducting a free training on future and options. You come to our office and we will do a training. And I went there, and actually there were 15, 16 people who were angel investor like me with maybe 8 or 10,000 rupees of portfolio. And they trained us on future and options. I was unlucky enough that it was working for me initially. But
Why do you call it unlucky?
yeah, Warren Buffett says that if you lose money in derivatives very early, then you are very lucky. You will learn the lesson very soon. I wasted my 4 years. So I was on a Nainital trip. So my phone got switched off, and somebody downgraded US rating from AAA to AA plus. I lost almost all of the money that I gained in last 3-4 years, which was 1.5 lakh in one single day. The RM kept calling me and started motivating me कि होता है करो करो. कहा ठीक है, अब नहीं करना, क्योंकि आपने अगर 4 साल में, if you have only earned 10,000 rupees, it's, I won't say it's a profit, or it's not even break even, it's a complete loss. God help me, suddenly I got a call in the month of October from some salesperson that we are conducting a stock market session, and I said not again. And I was still in the zone that I'm a very good investor and all. So I said that what you're going to teach me, you will again teach me FNO and all of that. We don't teach FNO. So I
Then
said,
who was conducting this webinar?
so he was the first person who actually introduced me to investing. His name is Varun Malhotra. He's a very excellent teacher, and I think I am very blessed to have him as a teacher early in my life. He introduced me to Warren Buffett. So he said that we are conducting a training session in Noida. और आई वॉज लिविंग इन गुड़गांव एट दैट टाइम. कौन जाएगा गुड़गांव से नोएडा, इट्स 2 hour जर्नी. बट आई डोंट नो, समथिंग क्लिक्ड एंड आई वेंट देयर was 10 students there. On the first day itself, 6 students said that we don't want to enroll in the session. So much of negativity happening in front of you. When I was in FNO session, there were no seats empty, but when we went into the session, because he used to teach core investing only, he
No
was
FNO.
he teaches FNO, that why you should not do FNO. He
Got
teaches
it.
in that way, that why you should not be doing FNO. So he teaches the principles of FNO, and I felt that how foolish I was to do FNO, which I can talk about later. But I got introduced to investing principles, how I should start saving for the future. This was late 2011. uh, I sometimes jokingly say that I got my eyes operated at the same time in December. I actually say that my eyes got opened at that time, both
The actual ones and
actual one
the
and
virtual
the
one.
market one. So I started learning investing from him, and that course was a blessing for me. That was the first time I actually invested money, goal planning, and all that. And I got so serious about it. I started reading about Warren Buffett. I started reading about his letters to shareholders. I started reading Intelligent Investor. Maybe that was the moment. And after that, I never looked back into investing. So maybe sorry to give that long answer, but that's how I started my investment.
You quote Warren Buffett a lot.
Yep. I think in the entire interview, I'll only quote Warren Buffett. I don't know anything else apart from that.
How do you look at money in general going forward? Like, do you have goals to retire at particular age?
The first goal that I set up was my retirement. It is 60.
Retirement at 60.
60, which
Generally,
is
whenever we talk about
government
fire
age.
number, people want to be retiring at 40, at max 50.
The basic assumption when they say that they want to retire early is because they are not doing the work of their choice. Warren Buffett says that I've never worked a single day in my life. So the thing which is of your passion, they will not tire you. So I don't want to retire at 35, 40. There's no goal like that in my life.
And do you have any corpus in mind, saying the corpus should be that much by 60?
Yeah. So I planned around 4 to 5 CR of that amount, and I have set up SIP for the same.
So retirement at 60 with a unencumbered corpus of 5 CR. Then what are other goals?
So when I started in 2012, I was not married, right? No idea when I would get married, but I started planning for my child's education.
Then
Yeah,
when
yeah,
you
then.
were when the marriage wasn't in
Yeah,
sight.
yeah. You should plan like a fool. If you don't know how to plan, just Google an average Indian man or Indian woman. That's what you are. That's the benefit I got because I started planning so early. My SIP amounts were very low. 2012, my first goal was retirement. Second goal was my child graduation, post graduation. Recently, when we were planning for child, I set up an SIP that when my child will turn 5 years of age, I don't have to make any expense out of my pocket.
For his,
Everything will come out of SIPs only.
okay, for his school expense, it is.
Everything, even his pocket money, play school, everything. I saw pain with a lot of parents that when they are deciding the school, the prime factor is how much money you can pay. Today, school's fees is very, very expensive, right? At least I don't want that debate in my house, discussion in my house. So I've planned everything. That is the last SIP that I started. So I hope that answers your question.
Got it. Like, do you enjoy the process? So therefore, you are thorough
Yeah,
planner
yeah,
because
enjoy the process.
otherwise it is very, very tiring, no? To
No,
plan
no, no,
so
no,
much.
no. I don't get tired. I really enjoy this process. My wife sometimes get very irritated.
I can imagine. Did you plan expenses for your marriage also?
See, I belong from a Punjabi family, and marriages in my family happens like a very big
Grand
festive.
wedding.
But I did a court marriage.
Oh,
My marriage expense was 10,000 rupees only. Court marriage.
wouldn't your family, mother's family, didn't they oppose you saying, what are you
No,
doing?
no, there was a lot of dispute on that. We will give you the money because they think I am very conjuice type of person. They say, I will give you money. I said, money is not an issue. You see what I'm going to do after the marriage. So we actually went on a road trip. 5th of July, we were in Goa. We spent, I guess, 3 days in Goa. And then we came to Bangalore. There was a new company called Zoom Car in Bangalore at that time, 2015. We booked a car for 21 days and we went on a road trip of South India. So we created a O on the map of South India. Started from Bangalore, Mysore, Kurg, Wayanad. Not even a single destination was planned. So I spent almost 7 to 8 lakhs rupees on that trip. We stayed in very good hotels. We did everything we wanted at that particular time.
Can you again summarize? You mentioned your corpus is 2 crore. Like, what is percentage allocation?
60% of around it will be directed to index funds, which are linked to my important goals and my SIPs. 5% where I'm trying to learn how to invest in stock. I have around maybe 6 to 7% in emergency funds. Then other debt instruments like NPS, and then EPS is completely debt. So that includes the entire corpus.
Mistakes that you have seen people doing it.
They don't plan their financial life at all. They don't have any visibility to goals. They are earning 100, spending 90. They are so glued with their expenses. People today have a lot of iPhones, but people don't have term insurance. People very well agree that health insurance cost is going up. They don't have any health insurance. You talk to a lot of corporate people, they will only rely on health insurance from their organization. That's not enough. I feel government should make mandatory. If you're buying an iPhone, first you show me that you have a personal health insurance. You have to buy a lock to protect your investments. Term insurance, health insurance, and good emergency fund. You give an interview when you're laid off without emergency fund and give an interview with emergency funds. This cannot be explained mathematically. Then think about creating a budget for yourself. Track how much you're spending. If I have 100 rupees, sit down with the family. How much you're going to spend? How much I can reduce if I'm not able to cover my expenses? I know a lot of people who are at 90%. I said that these are your goals. You're not able to cover your SIP. Can you reduce some of your expenses? They said, no, we are very glued to our lifestyle. Okay, that's fine. But now don't take it up. Increase your salary, and from the salary you're increasing, don't take your lifestyle up. Since 2012, I made a principle to myself that I will never spend more than 50% of my salary. There's an artificial barrier in my mind for my salary that if I'm earning 100, my salary is only 50 rupees. Then go to goal planning. Then go to wealth maximization. People want to become rich tomorrow, and that's not happening. Even if government imposes some tax on SIP, that if you do SIP, we will tax you differently, I will still go for SIP because that allow me not to time the market. डिलीट कर देना, निर्मला सीतारमन जी का आइडिया चला गया तो एक्चुअली में टैक्स लगा देगी.